Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and as discussed in the video from the other day, I wanted to go over each little topic that they kind of spoke about in the Battlefield 5 live reveal, and of course some extra information which we got from some YouTubers that were given a conference of about 3 hours and got way more information than the general public got during the Battlefield 5 live reveal. So I want to go through these different topics and different points, the ones I found the most interesting, each in a little video throughout the next couple of weeks, because I want to make these videos a little bit easier to consume than one big block of like 30 minutes of speaking of everything that's coming in Battlefield 5. I'm going to put a little bit more in-depth stuff about each topic, but in shorter videos and spanning throughout the next couple of weeks. So if you are interested in all of these different topics, be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss a video. But without further ado, let's get stuck right into the first major topic that I want to talk about. Well, major, not really major, but a really interesting one, I find. So obviously, if you read the title and the thumbnail of this video, it is on the topic of Grand Operations. So Grand Operations, what they say, it's a large 45 to 60 minute game mode spread over 4 fictional days. So they're not literally days. You're not going to sit in front of your computer for 4 days playing Battlefield, although that does sound quite great. But basically, each day is a separate map, a little bit like the classic Operations, but right now we only have 2 to 3 maps, and each different day, so each different map has a different game mode on it. You're not playing the same game mode throughout all of the maps like the classic Operations, which we have right now in Battlefield 1, which are pretty much just playing like push the sector, and if you don't get through the first map, then you won't get to play the second map. But Grand Operations, how it works is you get to play a minimum of 3 days, so 3 different maps with 3 different game modes. And now you might be wondering, well, how do you get to the next map if you didn't win the first map? Well, how it works is if the attackers didn't perform well enough, it's going to affect the amount of reinforcements they get on the second day. And I would imagine that after the third day, it would be the team who performed the best throughout all 3 days that wins the entire Grand Operations. There is something else to note on the 4th day, which apparently you will not likely get to very often. It is called Final Stand. So if it's a draw or close, you get into the 4th day. So everybody gets 1 life from what we've heard, very low resources, some heavy weather effects, like really like crazy hellish war, and the last man standing wins for their team. So that sounds absolutely insane. It kind of gives you that little battle royale vibe, but like not really, because it's in the bigger scheme of the Grand Operations portrait. And the other game modes that we've heard about would be in Grand Operations is Airborne, so you jump out of an aircraft and right into the action. Not much more on what this game mode entails. Breakthrough, cap points 1 by 1, so pretty much like Operations that we have right now in Battlefield 1, so like a push the sector map. The next one is Conquest Assault. So Conquest Assault, basically everybody knows this game mode by now since it was introduced again in Battlefield 1. One team starts off with all the objectives, the other team starts off with no objectives but a higher amount of tickets off the start. So apparently that's the 3 game modes we're going to get, but the thing about Grand Operations that really gets me excited is that it is very much tied to the live service of Battlefield 5. So Battlefield 5 won't have paid DLC, it won't be premium pass, it's going to be live service. All the DLC is going to be free for everybody, and Grand Operations is very much going to be tied into this. So from what I can understand, throughout the life cycle of Battlefield 5, they're going to make us progress through the war as though it was really kind of happening. So like every month, for example, you'd get a different Grand Operations which you can play, and it's very much in the control of DICE. So they get to pick what armies you're playing, they get to pick what maps you're playing, what game modes you're playing, what weapons you have available, what vehicles you have available, and it really sounds like it's shaping up to be probably like the staple game mode of the Battlefield franchise from now on. Now you're still going to get all the classic game modes that you're used to, but you'll get this on top of that, and apparently it's going to be very rewarding for you to play these 45 to 60 minute game modes, and it's really shaping up to be something pretty awesome with the live service attached to it, which is called Tides of War, and the Grand Operations changing like frequently throughout Battlefield 5's life cycle. So that is what I understand so far from what Grand Operations is. And if you love Operations at Battlefield 1, I have no doubt in my mind that you will love Grand Operations, and I can't wait, because sometimes playing the same mode over and over for multiple maps kind of gets a little stale. But now, if you don't like, for example, Conquest Assault, then you might really like Breakthrough, so Day 2 might be your jam. So those are all things to think about for Grand Operations. I'm sorry if this video's dragging on a little bit, but wrapping it up here, let me know in the comments down below what you think of Grand Operations. If you love Operations in Battlefield 1 already, and if you think you're really going to love Grand Operations. And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more Battlefield 5 content coming in the next couple of weeks. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.